Hello! How are my happy people out there? My name is Jennifer. I am your happy life coach. Now, what's today's topic about? Today's topic is about falling out of love, long-term marriage, and why do we fall out of love? A little while ago, I was sitting in my home and my uncle asked me, he said, how does that happen? How does two people that were so much in love, couldn't be without each other, couldn't stand to be away from each other, loved each other so much, suddenly come to one day where they just can't stand each other, don't even want to be in the same room, don't even like talking to each other? How does that happen? He said, that's just crazy. And as I was sitting there listening, it saddened me because to me, just from my own observations and my own life and other people's lives, I felt like, well, it's preventable. That's one of those situations, that's one of those things that we cause. We cause our lives, our marriages, our home to not be happy, to not remain peaceful when it should. So here's my opinion on that. What I've seen is that a lot of men and women, when they're married for a while, they start taking each other for granted. They stop paying attention to the wonderful things that they do for each other, just the everyday wonderful things. Just to getting up in the morning and warming up the car if it happens to be cold outside so you don't have to go out in a freezing cold car. Or going out shoveling the snow. Or going out cleaning the car for you. Or getting up in the morning making any breakfast that your husband wants. Or any breakfast that your wife wants. Or while you're out shopping, you notice something that your husband would love, but he's not with you. Or your husband shopping and he noticed something that you would love and you're not with him. And he buys it, or you buy it, just for the pure sake because you know it's something that he really likes. We stop paying attention to those things. We start expecting them. And then we start neglecting them. We start looking at it as you're supposed to. And we no longer say, thank you. I mean, truly thank you. It's like, oh, thanks. Truly thank you. You know what? He didn't have to do that. That was so nice. My husband gets up in the morning earlier than me a lot of the times. And when he's up before me, he makes breakfast. When he makes breakfast, he's one of those guys that can eat anything and never gains any weight. And I gain everything he doesn't. So I can't eat like him. But anyway, when he gets up in the morning ahead of me, he will get up and he'll make breakfast. But he makes a huge breakfast. And so sometime I'll get up and I'm thinking, ooh. He's like, hon, I made you breakfast. And then I'm thinking, how many calories is this going to be? That's what I'm thinking. And plenty of times I've come down there and I've walked and I go, wow, I can't believe he made that much food. But as quick as that thought comes in my head, I throw it out. Because I'm like, but you know what? He didn't have to. And I'm so thankful that he thought enough of me to do that. And I think it's so wonderful and so special. So I sit down and I eat as much of the breakfast as I can, and whatever I can't eat, I just save it for later. But I don't start complaining. I've seen couples do that. He got up, he made breakfast for the wife. It's too much or it's not what she wanted, and instead of just stop and think about, wow, that was so wonderful, she starts complaining. Oh, there you go again, making me all that breakfast. I told you I don't like that much breakfast in the morning. Or you know I don't like eating it. Why you blah, 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 blah. And instead of, wow, that's so sweet. He didn't have to do anything. Then we start giving credence to stupid things. Oh, I don't like the way she chews. I don't like the way he snores. Oh, he's always looking at the toilet. Oh, he put the wrong bag over there. Oh, he's always hogging the TV. We start giving credence to those things. And we talk and fuss about them all the time. All the time. And every time we start fussing about those very insignificant things, we say horrible things to each other. Ugly things. And every time we do that, we build another brick on a wall that starts to separate us. Because instead of us paving bigger paths and openings for us to join together and be closer, we're separating ourselves every time we decide to give credence to something so insignificant, like he left the toilet seat up. I'll give you an example. My husband and I first got married. He's doing the dishes, and I noticed when he was doing the dishes that as he was washing them, he was taking the dishes and doing something that I thought was crazy. He was sticking them in the cabinet while they were wet. So in my mind, I'm going, oh my gosh, what are you doing? So, kind of went over in the kitchen. I was like, hey, hi, hon. Why are you doing it like that? You're not gonna dry the dishes? And he said, no, just as strongly as he can. There's no need for me to dry them. They'll dry in the cabinet when I put them in there. And that was his answer. And he was dead serious. I could have made a scene about that. I could have fussed about that forever. In my mind, it was crazy. In my mind, I didn't want it done that way. But what we forget is that's a human being, adult, and so are you. That thing he's doing is something I don't particularly like, and it may be a little annoying to me, obviously not to him. Is it worth me bringing drama into my marriage to fuss at him every time he gets up and does the dishes? See, I can either sit there and fuss about the fact that he's not drying the dishes, or I can relish and enjoy the fact that he is doing the dishes. And I've seen all too often, we choose to fuss about what he's not doing instead of being thankful for what he is doing. Now, I'm not saying if you got some horrible husband doing some horrible things, a horrible wife doing some horrible things, that you don't need to address it. I'm talking about those little trivial things that I've watched people build a building of trivial blocks. Separate buildings. Every trivial issue you've brought up and fussed about, you built a wall around you. And your spouse has built a wall around them. Now you don't even like each other. You don't even recognize each other. And with that wall, you don't even notice anymore the little wonderful things he's doing. And he doesn't notice anymore the little wonderful things she's doing until he's gone or she's gone. So that was my response to my uncle. I said we take each other for granted. And we start giving credence to the negativity instead of giving strength to the positivity. There's always going to be things in a relationship, in marriages, that are negative. But there's always going to be a positive side. And for me, I want to be happy. I don't want to sit here and get pissed off every time my husband picks up a dish and puts it in the cabinet wet. That is not the end of the world. And that is not going to destroy my marriage. So you know what I did? The next time he started doing the dishes, I got up, walked over to him, and as he went to take that dish and stick it in that cabinet wet, I said, hey, just give it to me. I'll handle that part. I said, so as you wash, just hand me the dishes. So he handed me the dishes and I dried them. No issue. Happy home. And your home should be happy. We have enough drama going on outside of the world and have to come home and deal with a husband bickering about unnecessary idiot things, or the wife bickering about unnecessary idiot things. And when you really think about them, they are. They're just things you don't like. They're not bad things. They're just things you don't like. I can sit here all day, oh, honey, I don't like this, I don't like that. My husband has habits, the way he handles and cleans or lack thereof when it comes to the bathroom. And so I don't share bathrooms with him. Simple as that. I made sure we got a home that had several bathrooms, and I've banned him out of mine, and I don't go in his. Now, I know you're thinking, hey, what if I can't afford that? What if I don't have several bathrooms? Well, there have been times when we've been on business trips where we've been out of town and been in a hotel for several months on end, and we've had to share a bathroom. And you know what? I didn't complain once. I just let it go. Because it's not bad things, it's just those are his habits. Just like I have habits that I'm sure drive him crazy. And I would hate for him to be fussing at me about every little habit, because it's not a bad thing. I want him to remember and notice all the lovely things I do for him. When I sit at home and make spaghetti sauce for him from scratch. I make sausages for him from scratch. I make bread from scratch, everything from scratch, because he doesn't want any of the genetically modified food and anything that's been altered or preserved. So I sat down and learned how to make almost everything from scratch. I want him to pay attention to that. And I would feel horrible if instead of him noticing that all that extra time it takes out of my day to sit down and make all that stuff from scratch, when I could just open a can, I would hate the fact that he's not noticing that, but he is noticing the fact that I just happened to have left a certain lipstick on the counter in his bathroom. So, stay happy. Happiness is truly a choice. How you choose to handle the situations can make your home life and every other part of your life happy. I am truly happy. And these are the things that I follow to keep that happiness in my life. I thank you very much for tuning in today, and I look forward to speaking with you again next week.